You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Bork. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, 5th day of April, 2018. Glad to have you with us. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're here for the first time, a special welcome to you. We're certainly glad to have you with us today. I have a chart up of the S&P 500 E-mini Futures as I do. If you can't see it, go to our homepage at cfrn.net. On the right-hand side of the page, just click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered in 30 seconds, and you'll be good to go. One-click access through the end of the month. Register once a month, that's it. As a backup, go to youtube.com/cfrn/live, bookmark that page, and you'll have one-click access every single day. Now, this whole Facebook business, which has people up in arms and also the stock down, Mark Zuckerberg said, you know what? It's too late to lock the barn door because the horse is long gone. Let's kind of what he said. I'll tell you what he really said. Facebook revealed today that as many as 87 million users could have had their Facebook data taken by Trump-linked British data firm Cambridge Analytica. But even if you're sure you're not in the Cambridge Analytica data, because you never shared your data with a sketchy quiz app, there's probably someone out there that has scraped data from your Facebook profile anyway. This is an admission of Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, on a call with reporters yesterday. Basically, the search function of Facebook's apps was so powerful and so widely used that if you were a Facebook user and it was turned on, which it was by default, then you should assume that someone out there has access to your public information. Well, it's public information. Okay. In terms of the scale, I think the thing people should assume, given this is a feature that's been available for a while and a lot of people use it in the right way, but we've also seen some scraping. I would assume if you had that setting turned on that someone at some point has accessed your information. So it's probably not a bad idea to go out and delete it anyway so it doesn't get scraped again. But anyway, let's take a look at the numbers from around the world and see how the world markets are faring on this Thursday. We'll start here in the U.S. Cash markets. The Dow is up 321 points. That's over 1.25%. NASDAQ's up 53 points. S&P 500 is up 24.5. That's almost 1%. And the Russell 2000 is up 12.5. That's almost 1%. In the commodity basket today, crude oil up 43 cents, trading 63.80 last. And gold down $11.70, trading 13.2850 last. Let's see how the Asian markets fared. Nikkei tacked on 325 green points. Shanghai was down almost 5, and the Hang Seng, whoa, big numbers, lost 661 points. That's well over 2%. Last but not least, in the European markets, the FTSE up 165 points. The DAX up 347 points. And the CAC up 134 points. Put it in perspective, for the FTSE, that's a gain of almost 2.5%. For the DAX, a gain of almost 3%. And for the CAC, a gain well over 2.5%. Yeah, wowza. Big green day in Europe. Okay, let's jump over to Michael and get a recap of everything that happened in the live training room this morning. Michael, are you ready?
I am ready.
How are you?
I am here. I'm okay.
Good.
A little grumpy, but okay overall. But we had a good morning this morning, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, we had some good volatility, enough volatility anyway to get some good trades. All right, let me bring the spreadsheet up and bring this over here. There we go. All right, I am ready.
It's all yours.
All right, thanks. Just a reminder to everyone who is out there who may be on the trial or even the partners. Today is Thursday. There's a partners meeting tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay. All right. Here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, the 5th day of April, 2018. So we're 10 days away from tax day. 10 days. Anyway, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the homepage at CFRN.net, and up here at the very top it says sign up for the CFRN live training room. 100% free trials, user indicators, learn our strategy. Click here. When you click there, you will be brought to this page, where all we ask for is your email, your first name, and how you found us. Then you hit the submit button. Once you hit the submit button, you'll be sent to confirmation link. Okay, you must click on that confirmation link. If you don't click on the confirmation link, you will not get a free trial, because we don't know you took the trial until you click that link. Okay? Alright, now, on the day, as I said, it is the 5th day of April, 2018. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today we made 12 ticks in crude and 10 ticks in gold. That put us at $220 on the day. Okay. Today it took 15 minutes and one trade to get to the goal for the day. So that, at that point we're up $100 a contract. We took 6 more trades to put us at 7 trades on the morning. And on the month now we're at 687.50. That's over 4 days, averaging 171 per day. On the year, we are at $10,041. That's over 62 days, averaging $161 per day. Okay, 161 per day. Right? Those are gross numbers. They're not net. Those are gross numbers. Okay. Put that down, and we'll go over what we did or didn't do in here. On gold, we missed this first trade right here at 938. We missed it. We didn't get filled. And when I say we missed it, it's usually because we didn't get filled. Okay. But sometimes sometimes I'm just reading emails and responding to other things, and I do actually just miss things. But anyway, this is where we got our goal for the day, the first trade of the day right here on gold. We got 10 ticks profit on that. And then we missed this one right over here. It was a short, and that one obviously we missed because I would have gotten filled had I put the order on. And this one over here, we ended up with a break even. Since then, though, gold has not been anything that you can really do anything with. Okay, it's just been a big miss. And that's it. That was it for gold. The euro, we had just one trade that we had just one trade that we actually did. But we missed a long right there, a short there, and a short there. Okay, and let's see. It looks like, yeah, well, that was it. That was it. And that was it on the euro. We ended up with a break even. We had just one break even trade on the euro. Okay. And crude oil. We had some pretty good volatility in the crude today. There was an opportunity right here that we missed. Didn't get filled on. But you see this area right here, this little highlighted area right here. I had highlighted that. Leo, yeah, you probably need the new channel, Leo. And you're on the list, so you should be getting it. Anyway, this right here, this area, I had highlighted this area yesterday before the crude inventories came out. This is the area that price was at when the API numbers came out Tuesday afternoon at 4:30. And price always manages to get back to there. Okay. Now yesterday when the crude inventories came out, yeah, let's look at it on a bigger time frame. And this is where it was at when the API numbers came out. Then overnight, crude tanked. And then yesterday, when the crude inventory numbers came out right in here, I said, look for it to get back up to this area, right up there. And it got back up there, and it was riding that area for quite a while. And now it's just going back and forth above that area. Okay. Now, by next week, it'll break away from that area, probably. But anyway, what we did today on the crude, let's get back to that. What we did today on the crude. Started out in here. We missed a shorting opportunity right there. We missed a long there. And then the slingshot got all messed up. It looks like there was another long right there, but it was going into the high of the day, so there was nothing really. We missed a short there. Then we grabbed, what did we grab? 2 ticks on that one. Okay, and then we got 6 ticks there to put us at +8, and 4 ticks there to put us at +12 on the crude. Since then, there was a long trade right there. A long trade right there. Okay, and that was it on the crude. On the ES, yeah, we just had the one opportunity that we took advantage of. Well, we didn't actually take advantage. We ended up with a break even on it. On the ES. Yeah, scrolling back, it looks like that's pretty much all there was this one opportunity right there. Right there on the ES. Okay, and during the break, there was a shorting opportunity there and another one there. And that was pretty much it. There wasn't one right here because the green line was down below the cycle. And we didn't put in a lower swing. So that was it. Leo, let me just go and check something really quick here for you. Make sure that you are in the right place. Okay. Let me copy your email address. Paste it. Cut it. Okay. Well, here. Okay. Sorry. Little detour there. Back here. Okay, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures there are at the bottom. Today is the 5th day of April, 2018. We made 12 ticks on crude, 10 ticks on gold. That put us at +220. Took us 15 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day, and at that point, we're up $100 a contract. We took a total of 7 trade opportunities this morning. Gross profit, $687.50. That's over 4 days, averaging $171 per day. On the year now, $10,041. That's over 62 days, averaging $161 per day. So this is after missing, I don't know, probably at least a third of the trade opportunities, maybe half of the trade opportunities. And that's 2 hours per day with 1 contract. You guys know what the software costs. Anybody that's been on the trial, you all know what the software costs. I just don't get it. If people don't want to become a member, there is a partners meeting tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern. All right. If you're not a partner and you want to get into that meeting, you must become one before the meeting. Just in case you don't have it, you will be sent an email. If you're on the trial, you'll be sent an email telling you what it takes to become a partner. Okay. All right. And back here, if you have not taken the trial and you're in here right now, go to the homepage at cfrn.net, and up at the top it says sign up for the CFRN live training room. 100% free trial, user indicators, learn our strategy. Click here, click there. All right, you can also click here. You can also click here. There's many ways to take the trial. But any way you do it, so you can also click right over here. Any way you do it, you're going to be brought to this page where all we ask for is your email, your first name, and how you found us. Hit that submit button, and you'll be sent a confirmation link. Okay, once you get that confirmation link, you have to click on it. And then you'll be sent all the information you need to get into the live training room. Okay, and that's it. With that, I can pass it back out to Studio A, fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. I have got that down now.
You, sir, have it nailed.
I do. I have it down. Okay.
Let me grab these charts.
Okay.
One. Oh. Try that again. Okay, I had it right the first time. Okay, do you see... Oh, recap of the recap, please. Michael?
Oops, sorry, my mic was off. Today it took one trade and 15 minutes to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 per contract.
Nice job. Nice job. Is John logged in yet?
Hang on, let me go take a look.
He was going to come a little early today.
No.
Okay.
Not this early. Okay.
Well, news down Arizona way. The Arizona governor is at work. Arizona corporations can now hold and share data on a blockchain following the signing of new legislation signed into law by the Arizona state governor. The bill, first introduced by Representative Jeff Weininger, amends the Arizona revised statutes to recognize data written and stored on systems using the technology as previously reported. Governor Doug Ducey signed the measure April 3rd. Arizona House passed the bill within 8 days of its introduction, records show, and the Senate followed suit roughly a month later when the Senate unanimously voted to pass the bill. 4 House representatives voted against or abstained. The amendment comes a year after Arizona began recognizing signatures recorded on a blockchain and smart contracts as legal documentation. Also signed by Ducey, that law allows these signatures to qualify as legal electronic signatures, meaning individuals can sign records or contracts on a blockchain. Well, how about that? Little old Arizona.
Just sticking it right out there.
Yep.
First in line. That's good.
Now, big rally here.
Arizona's not little.
Big rally overnight, I suppose. Well, a lot of it was yesterday afternoon, which means this one here from yesterday triggered again, going into the close. It's 2 days in a row that's happened. On the S&P last night, we said to consider buying 2656 if you got the opportunity. And it looks like you got a couple. 2656. Yeah, that's pretty close. 2656. So we ran up to 2660s, 4 points, ran up to 67. That would be 11 points. And then we ran up to 72. That would be 16 points, Michael?
That sounds right.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
I was just checking for John. Now, guys, I'll give you a chance to take a screenshot, if you want, of the alerts from last night. See that ES 2656. Now, let me give you another second. Go ahead.
What?
No, I'm just letting the audience. I always let them grab a copy of the alerts from the night before.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
John's
Obviously,
in now.
Is he? Okay.
Almost. We still don't have a microphone on there for him, so his headset. There he goes. Now he's in.
Okay.
I'll open it up.
Thank you.
Okay. There you go, John. You're open.
Hi, thanks. We've got some big developments going on today. Even though we started out pretty strong on this market, we're sort of set up for a downside surprise, although we've averted that a few times so far. But if the Nasdaq breaks 6,600, Nasdaq futures, that might be the death knell of the market, at least in the short term. And there's a distinct possibility that we could go negative this afternoon. On not necessarily on everything, but maybe on the Nasdaq, and that wouldn't be so good. We're already negative on the semiconductors, which is a bad sign, and also the LABU is negative as well, and the FAS, which is a banking triple ETF, is close to going negative. So these are, not all is as good as it looks. And in fact, we said a while ago, most of the stocks are topping out, and to be very careful, because we kind of gone up very, very fast. We're going up about 1,000 points, and we could certainly pull back. Now, tomorrow is a very, tricky day because of the jobs report. Probably the market will end higher going into the Friday afternoon, but it's not a guarantee. And if for any reason we have a bad day tomorrow or down day tomorrow, then it doesn't bode very well for next week. And there's this slight chance of last week's lows being tested again and possibly taken out. I'm not really saying that, I'm just saying that's a possibility. I'm not saying it's not a big kind of deal for me yet, but it might become that if right now we're holding up and the Nasdaq's jumping again, so that's okay. The other thing today that's pretty significant is the golds, the nuggets and the gold ETFs. For some reason, GOLD has been knocked down today quite badly. It's down about $1.50. But if it turns around, that would be very constructive. Royal Gold and Newmont are among the two strongest gold stocks, and their charts look very good, especially if we close anywhere around here or higher. And if you remember yesterday, I said something similar about the market, that if we closed anywhere where we were or higher, would be very bullish indeed for the stocks. And so far it has been. Now, as we, our comments about Facebook and Amazon were 100% right yesterday, basically saying that all this was a storm in a teacup, and Facebook jumping up $5, gapping up, and we said, it'd be probably gapping up this morning on a lot of stocks. So now we're turning down a little bit on the Nasdaq again, so got to be really careful here. But having gapped up, most stocks are giving up the ground. Nvidia doesn't look very good, and it didn't really have a rip-roaring day yesterday, like it usually does. The best performing stock in our little court was Intercept Pharmaceuticals, which bottomed out yesterday, somewhere around the low 60s, I think, and it got to 72 today. So that's a very, very big deal. Sorry, ICPT. Let's see. Yeah, it got down to 61 yesterday, 61 and a bit, and we sold it at 72 about an hour ago, and it's 69 right now. So, but there's something going on with this stock, just the way it's been acting recently. It really has performed exceedingly well, and it's not. We're definitely not there yet. I'm not too keen on the structure overall. If we were to break down from here, it'd be a bad deal. But we have to be, I would buy this kind of trend break, or upward trend break in the possible anticipation of something bigger than we imagine might happen. Because if some good news comes out on this stock, I mean, it could run up to 80 or 90 or even 100 very, very quickly. And it's been basing out here for 6 months, for 6 or 7 months, and it's making new 6-month highs right now. So that's quite an important
Are you
development.
talking about Intercept? Was that?
Yeah. And also guess what led the way up yesterday was Celgene. It's down again today, but it was one of the top performers yesterday. It went from 86 to 91. Now, but you can see, Celgene is an example of a stock that is turning from looking good to looking really bad. And Micron is probably another one. I mean, actually, Micron looks terrible. Look at it, jeepers. This stock that was on fire.
What's the symbol?
MU. MU.
Okay, there we go. I
mean, this is a stock that was on fire in February, right? Made new highs. We went from $41 to $40 to 63, and in the last in this downtrend, since this downtrend started, it's been really bad for this stock. They lost $10, more than $10, and look at it today. It's about to make new lows. I mean, this is catastrophic. This is very, very bad. This is one of the leading stocks not acting well at all, and it's a quick gander at Nvidia. Nvidia is better, but it's vulnerable to being to going lower, and the thing is the afternoon today. What's going to happen this afternoon if we sell off? If we start breaking at 66 and give up 10 or 20 points more on the Nasdaq, start going negative, it really won't be good, and it may lead the rest of the markets down. We're kind of set up for, I don't want to say this too drastically, but we're kind of set up for a kind of a crash here. If this furious rally is another suck-in move that's designed to kind of think everything's back on track. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just, the fact that not everything is doing what it should be doing is bothering me. And actually on this rally, most of the FANGs haven't really performed that well. And in fact, you look at Google right now, it doesn't look very good. It's had a rally, but it's only got up to the top of the range. And this is a little bit like what happened with the last time the tech stocks corrected, when Google was about $100 lower. And, it did a lot of this before it finally took off and went to a new high. And the same thing happened with Amazon. So it may be a little bit premature to get too excited about stocks just yet. And also, I'm worried about next week, because next week could be a kind of a shocker. There's some, this, who knows, there's something good. I mean, look, there is so much skullduggery and the stuff that's going on with the Justice Department and this Rosenstein, and I mean, he's 100% behind all this stuff that's been going on with the FBI. I can't for the life of me understand how Trump didn't appoint Kallstrom to be the FBI director. I mean, this thing would have been cleaned up in 5 minutes, and it's just going on, and they're dragging stuff out and obviously covering everybody, because the scandal goes right to the top, and and then you've got a maniac prosecutor trying to. I mean, how crazy is it? They're paying these people millions and millions of dollars to trap people in a lie, so they got something on them. I mean, give me a break. I mean, that shouldn't be the definition of this country.
No,
they put people in jail. It's an absolute disgrace. It's an outrage, and you never know. Trump might just lose it and just fire the guy. Could happen over the weekend. I mean, because I think, maybe they'll end this nonsense once and for all. There might be a bit of a blow up over it, but there's a lot of people. There's a lot of voices now saying this has just gone too far, and the whole thing is trumped up. It's an absolute disgrace. It really is. Now, for the gold, something really dramatic happened this morning. The gold opened down and reversed very dramatically in a nanosecond. It literally went from down, down quite a bit to up. And I think we're preparing for a rally tomorrow in the metals, and certainly potential higher opening if we keep going the way we are right now. If we start making new highs on the gold stocks today, that would be very positive. It could be the beginning, with all this backing and filling forth we've had over the last couple of weeks. It could be paving the way to, and especially, when you get something as dramatic as this turnaround today. I don't know what the foundation for that is, but it is quite possibly the beginning of something pretty big, where we might just see a sudden tearaway move to the upside in gold that you simply can't catch if you're not on board. And especially, and I'm not sure if the market breaks down, the problem is, up until now, it's kind of hurt the gold stocks a bit when the market's broken down, but this time it might be different. So I'd probably take a shot at going long the golds. We're already long, but I'd already take a shot at adding some more.
At what price?
And we're down. We got in near the lows. We're not making a lot of money on them just yet. But they're going the right way, and it's not an easy ride. They've been kind of very volatile today. But the gold is not actually moving. It's struggling to get out of its own way at the moment, which has been characteristic of the action in the last, during this period. So, but the silver is doing better today, and we're also long the silver. So that's a pretty good sign. And I think if we get over 1650 or so, we could see 17 very quickly, and possibly even more than that. The other thing that's not going well today is palladium is acting terrible. It's down $20 right now, and platinum is not acting very well either. So, and that's not so good for the metals. But a turn, I would say platinum goes back over 922, up around 920 maybe. I'd probably want to be long the platinum because I think when it turns, it's going to have a pretty big run. Copper, if you remember, we talked about copper a few days ago. Copper got knocked down yesterday. It got down to about 298. We actually put a buy-in down there, and it's turned around. It's up 6 today, and it got back to 3 overnight. So it was 301, so it's gone up just 307 right now, and the copper looks very good. One of the things that's a little bit friendly towards the metals today is the silver turned rather suddenly as well this morning, and it's actually up. It's up 9 cents right now. So the silver leading the way higher is definitely a good indicator that we may be headed for higher prices. Right now, we're pulling back a little bit on the Nugget and the Newmont mining and the others. So we're not set to go just yet. But anything above anything above last hour's high in the metals would be very positive in my view right now. The other thing is lumber.
It was limit up yesterday, right?
Yeah, it's almost limit up again. It's 940. This has been a heck of a run. We put the stop right now right up at 535 or so, maybe 534, just because you never want these things to suddenly turn and go down, which could happen. you can't, because you can't get, you can't stop it quick enough, kind of thing. Also, if you remember yesterday, I said I thought the cotton would go up from about the 80 level, and it just hit 82.60 a short while ago, and I think the cotton looks very good for further upside. The grains, remember I said, well, I said a couple of days, was it yesterday or the day? I said buy 103 yesterday. We're actually at 110.30 right now, and I said we could probably go back up very, very dramatically to the previous high, and we appear to be on our way there. And the fact that we went down and made this sort of one, short test around the 970 or 80, whatever it was yesterday, and now we're screaming back up, is incredibly bullish for the grains, actually. So the grains are having probably a pretty epic week, and the only risk to the grains is if the market tanks, they might get dragged down. They might get dragged down like they did yesterday. So you have to keep that in mind. But I think the grains, our buy is sort of a buy dip scenario right now. Any kind of a dip is a good buy on the grains. The oil is creeping a bit higher. We had buy stops lower, and I think if we can get over 64 today on the crude, that would be a good level to be at. And maybe 199 on the gasoline, 198.5 on the heating oil would be very, very good prices. Possibly opening the way for higher prices. Again, the crude is a bit vulnerable to the market coming off, so that's we're only up 21 now on the Nasdaq. We're giving up the ground bit by bit, and we've come off quite a bit on the Dow. I mean, we were up 300 before. We're only up 200 now. That's bad news when that happens. Just like we were up 30 on the S&P or 25 on the S&P, and we're only up 15 now. So if we hold here and rally in the afternoon,
right,
which we did like we did yesterday, which we actually said to be ready for yesterday. If you remember, I said, be ready to buy between 2 and 3, and it started around 2. You got to, 2 days in a row to bet on another rally today is a little bit, well, I'm not ruling it out. It's a little bit it might be a bit of a stretch. So, I mean, it is a strong market, and we could get the second wind here. But actually, while we've been talking, the semiconductors have got worse. They're down more now. And so and the drug stocks are down more as well. So that's not a very good sign either. So, look, the same way this market went up relentlessly yesterday, kind of furiously, if it were to break down from here, the selling might be with a greater intensity than what we might have seen actually. So prior to this, it might be very, because the last sell-off wasn't really it wasn't like the sell-off we had going into early February. That sell-off was pretty scary. We were because most of the time I buy dips and sell rallies. Some, when we buying dips and there is no dip and there is no rally, that hasn't really been happening on this particular downturn. So, and from that standpoint, the market, is acting better, and it's actually turning up a bit again now. So, it may be able to avert this. Look, I'm all for the market going higher. I'm just saying that to be careful of something coming, because really this whole thing that happened on Tuesday night going into Wednesday was kind of a total overnight crash, if you like, that That's very, very rare. On the plus side, yesterday was the third best day off a greater than 500 down opening, going back to positive. The two previous days were, I believe, August 24th, 2015, which we were down about 1,000, and I think we reversed back to positive that day. And the second one was Trump, the day after the election, when we came in down about 1,000 and finished up really strong. And then yesterday. So, it is a big deal because while normally a move like this is a defining moment, if you like, it doesn't mean, it's kind of like today. We shot higher on the metals in the morning. It looked like they were going to go to the moon, and the next thing you know, they're correcting, right? And they're testing a bit, and so the market looks like it's going to go to the moon yesterday, and now in the morning, now it's testing, and it could still go down and test, a bit more next week. That's really what I'm kind of saying, and we don't know if it's going to hold or whether it's going to retest or what the story is. But generally speaking, the kind of bottom we put in with this kind of the low of Monday and the low of Wednesday, separated by a day, is usually a fairly good base, a fairly good bottom for stocks to lift off from. So the silver is trying to go higher here. It's kind of acting really well, and the USLV, which is a silver ETF, if it closes over 10 today, that would be a very big deal, and it's been trying to get out of this zone for a while, and the fact that it's been stuck in this zone for several weeks actually, and is now turning up, and it's got a very dynamic structure to it actually in a lot of ways. If it gets above 10, number one, that's a good thing. If it gets above 1050 up towards 11, that would be a pretty big breakout, and it would open the way to going up and testing the $13, and that could happen. It could literally happen next week, that move, and it would definitely put silver on the way to going quite a bit higher.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yep. I mean, the upside on this thing is astronomical. To give you an idea, this thing, when silver hit an all-time high, it was up around $600. So it's currently just under 10 right now. So there's a huge amount of upside on this thing, and the same with the nugget, really, which is I mean, look at the structure on the nugget. You got a kind of a really dynamic kind of structure here developed in the last couple of days, and the likelihood now of this thing rocketing out of here has gone up quite a few notches in terms of probability. So in actual fact, I think the metals have kind of been a little bit depressed. They should have been performing better considering everything else that's going on, and they may be ready to play catch up.
This NQ might just be getting ready to turn up.
The Nasdaq.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Look. It's one of the things that's gone extremely well up until an hour ago was the Dow stocks. By the way, I've got a kind of developed this kind of secret edge for calling these moves, and as a matter of fact, to support what you're just saying, I'm starting to get some buys on quite a few issues here. That given what happened yesterday, the same sort of buys produced, you know, very, very big up moves, explosive up moves. So, you know, like I say, can we get another rally this afternoon? The odds are fairly high that we can, because on a Thursday afternoon before a jobs report, if the market rallies in the afternoon, it usually means we're going to get a good number. And we're probably going to get a good number. I don't think it's going to be as good as last month. If it's more than 300,000, I think that would be pretty good. You know, that would be exceptional. If it's, and it's probably one of these situations that if it comes in lower than expected, you know, the market will probably end up rallying because it means they're not going to raise rates so much. Usual sort of thing that we've been, you know, has been happening all of last year.
Right.
So, you know, there's more power to get behind, you know, the stocks now. Nvidia, which is one of those that's starting to give me a buy. You know, you have to be very careful with these, because they're not while they may be a buy right now, if they get negated or if it breaks lower, it definitely would argue for lower prices this afternoon. So I don't think the market's got the same fervor today that it had yesterday, you know, because it was very early on in the game yesterday when we had what was really a fairly brief pullback before we went up again. Today it's a different story, and there isn't the same. We had some fervor this morning, but it hasn't been that visible since. And not everything's, not everything. Yesterday everything's kind of going the same way. Now it's different. It's not so unified, if you like, the events.
Okay.
Now it's looking a bit better. So, no, look, and keep in mind, just like yesterday, if the market decides it's back on a row, it could get strong, just like it's starting to. So, on that note, just look forward to tomorrow, and thanks again for the invite.
Hey, John, thank you. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to talking to you tomorrow.
Okay, much obliged.
All right, take care. Now, guys, I had mentioned that we were going to have a special guest on the show today, and there was a hedge fund meeting, and so it all got postponed until Tuesday. And the company, one of our partners, Scott Self, he's the president of Retirement Planning Masters, and this product that they're offering comes from First Global Capital. And so next Tuesday we'll have with us Scott Self, the president of Retirement Planning Masters, and Dale Ledbetter, who is general counsel for First Global Capital. It's an interesting opportunity, and so I encourage you to be here next Tuesday if at all possible. Now, we all know the world's a mess, and we all know that somebody should do something about it, right? Maybe that somebody could be us. Ephesians 2:10 says, "He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so we can do the good things He planned for us." The Bible says that God created us anew in Christ Jesus so we can do the good things He planned for us long ago. Now, these are devastating times. Currently, we've got about 1 billion people hungry, millions are trafficked in slavery, and pandemic diseases are gouging entire nations. Each year, nearly 2 million children are exploited in the global sex trade. In the few minutes it will take you to read today's front page, almost 90 children will die of preventable diseases. More than half of all Africans don't have access to modern health facilities. As a result, 10 million die each year from diarrhea, acute respiratory illness, malaria, measles. Many of these deaths could be prevented by one injection. So you ask, I ask, we ask, well, what the heck can we do about it? God answers prayer, number one, so we can all pray for those who are suffering. You can give, whether it's a little or a lot. It's the spirit and the heart of the giver. God will multiply it. Don't worry about that. And you can volunteer. You're surrounded by great causes in need of people. And here's why you should get involved. Your life is racing by, if you hadn't noticed. If you aren't careful, one day you'll look up and your one shot at life will have passed you by. Some people don't concern themselves with such thoughts. They grind through their days without lifting their eyes to look. They live and they die, and they never ask why. If you want your life to matter, live it in such a way that the world will be glad you did. You were created and redeemed to do the good things He planned for you long ago. And when you stand before God, He'll ask you how well you carried out your assignment, and He will reward you accordingly. And that's our good word for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in on this Thursday, the 5th day of April, 2018. Whoever you are, wherever you are, thank you so much for tuning in today. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.